All right. How's everyone doing? Let's go. How is everyone doing? Good evening. Good evening from the U.S. Where are we all from tonight? Good to see everybody. I already saw someone joining in from Portugal. We got any of our German friends here tonight? Usually got a few from Germany. I don't know if I'm too late for that one. Thank you all for being on the stream. Really appreciate it. I'm very excited to be back with you, to be back with everyone. I've definitely been sick for a little bit. Gosh, it feels like the past week I've been battling this, and as you can probably tell in my voice, I'm still not all the way back. But I've missed you guys. It's as weird as that sounds. I've missed you all. So Boston, I'm in England. Hello. Eric, good to see you. Everybody, hello from Spain. All right. Torn Raptor, Australia, 8 a.m. here. Good morning. Thanks for jumping on the stream. I am using a new mic tonight for the stream. I've used it in, I think, one video so far. So is it sounding okay? The level's good? Any feedback? Let me know if anything looks or sounds weird. I'm doing my best to keep an eye on the chat. Something on with sounds. Only left channel coming through. Okay. All right. Let me check. It may just be that this is a mono input. Let me see if I can adjust that real quick. Down mix to mono. Don't even know what that means. Okay. Let's see if that helps at all. So let's see. Who said it was coming just through one channel? I adjusted it. HK Streams. You said it was only left channel. Only left channel coming through on sound. How is it now? Your microphone is not turned on. I can't hear a word you're saying. Okay. Other people can hear my words. There you go. Stereo now. Awesome. Okay. Sweet. Only left on my earbuds. Okay. Great. Perfect now. Awesome. We'll move forward with that. For everyone else, I hope it turns on. That may have been, maybe you couldn't hear anything because you only had your right channel on, or the left channel, or the mono wouldn't work or something. But it's got it in stereo now. Awesome. Thank you guys for being patient with me. Hello, Seth. Good to see you, man. You're one of our YouTube members. So glad to have you on here. Made it to the start of your live stream for once. I'm so glad you did. So glad. I tried to do better about actually promoting it and telling you this is when I'm doing it. I've done a few of these now, and so there hopefully won't be as many glitches or hiccups or bumps or whatever kind of colloquialism you want to use there. Okay, I'm still having to cough a little bit, so I'm going to try to keep my mute button handy. So sorry about that. Well, hey, I just wanted to take, I know people are still kind of filtering in. I just wanted to take the first few minutes for kind of like an AMA, just ask me anything. And then maybe here in about 10 minutes or so, we'll get started with some channel updates, talk a little bit more about the Discord. We have a Discord now. I meant to actually get that link handy. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Patreon and YouTube members, do more of kind of a solid launch for those as opposed to kind of the soft launch we did earlier. That is not going to take up a lot of the stream, I promise, so it'll be just a short little advertisement, if you will, promotion. But then we'll talk about just some, not a lot, but just some ideas I had about the Microsoft merger that is looking like it's the Microsoft Activision merger that's looking like it's going to happen now, and what that means in relation to Starfield. Nothing, I'm not going to like sensationalize that. It's not going to change anything like for launch or anything like that. But I think there are some interesting things that could happen down the road, given if that does continue to go through. And then I want to talk a little bit just about the influences that we've seen already in Starfield, that we've seen like that Starfield has taken on. These influences, it seems to kind of wear some of those on its sleeve, from movies to books to, whatever. And there's probably a lot that I don't even know about that you guys have picked up on. So I want us to chat about that. So that's kind of the plan for tonight. And then had one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and we actually may get into that at the end of the AMA just because I'm excited about it. And it's nerdy, it's goofy, it doesn't even have anything to do with Starfield, but we're all gamers here, so I think we'll enjoy it. Okay, so let me know in the stream what questions are in the chat, what questions you guys have for me. As a few of those questions start to come through, I'm going to come over real quick in my Discord and get the invite link to share up. We already have over 100 people on our Discord. Let's see. And so that was, I just kind of put that out the other day on a post, and several people responded to that. And I'm just going to change this to never expire, generate new link. Okay. Come back over here. Thank you. And I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. So we want to put in the chat the link for Starfield Signal Discord. So we would love for any and all of you to join us over there. Eventually, I will probably make some sort of like tutorial to get on there. If you are like me, you don't have much experience with Discord. Whenever you open it up or download it or open it up in your browser and you see like your first server, ours is pretty simple. I want to keep it that way for a little bit, but it's intimidating. There's lots of stuff going on. You don't understand what it is. People want you to choose colors and roles and all sorts of things. And, I'm going to just treat it like a chat room for the first few weeks here as everybody gets comfortable with it and people kind of file in. That way it's not overwhelming to some people, because I think there's a lot of people like myself who've just never engaged with Discord before, who would honestly really enjoy the connection and the communication between everybody in our community, but would get a little like intimidated by all the things that you can do with this incredibly sophisticated tool. So we're going to keep it simple for now, and I'll probably do like a little tutorial video about how to get on there. But for now, if you're comfortable with it or you want to give it a shot, head on over to that link, Discord, join the server, say hi to everybody. We would absolutely love to have you. Big thanks to, what's his screen name? Samuel, X Scarface XO. He has built this server for us, has put a lot of time and energy into it. We've had a few calls just kind of going over everything. Super intelligent guy, really good at kind of doing this stuff. So if you see him on there, give him a wave or give him a thanks. I really appreciate it. Oh man, Streamlabs dinged somebody. Ding. El Capitan, it said, please refrain from sending long messages. Sorry about that, buddy. I didn't know it was like monitoring that. Doesn't look like too long of a message. I'll get back to that here in a second. So I got that. Let me put our, see. Actually, would one of you help me out with this? Would somebody who's already a part of our Discord just put the stream link in the Discord general chat, and then that way I don't have to, I'm working with just one monitor here, and that way I don't have to mess around with all my windows. I would appreciate it. Wow. Okay, so I will eventually, probably not for this stream because I have no idea where that would be in my settings, but don't worry about that Streamlabs message that's saying please refrain from sending long messages. Just break up your messages, maybe, if it's like completely blocking you. So sorry about that. Man, I thought I had all the kinks worked out, guys. Okay, let's get into these questions. All right. So let's see here. Eric, since Starfield's been announced, I got a degree and a job in the aerospace industry. That's awesome, Eric. Congratulations, man. That is incredible. Big congratulations to you. Let's see. El Capitan, he said, in the Elder Scrolls series and in Fallout, excuse me, guys, and in Fallout, there are constant references to cosmic Lovecraftian horror. Oh, cool. I did not realize that in their games. Do you think there's a chance they will expand on this in Starfield? Man, I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing in there. I'm familiar with Lovecraftian horror, kind of that cosmic horror, and it's absolutely fascinating. I feel like it would be out of place in Starfield, given what we know so far. I feel like that would really bump up against the NASA punk vibe they're going with. And obviously it's video games, so they have to gamify things, and they're not going to be all scientific, all mechanical the whole time. But I feel like Lovecraftian cosmic horror would be way out of left field for what they've told us so far. Maybe that could be like a cool, like a cool DLC or something if they wanted to dive into that, if like one of the writers wanted to take that, or of course, everybody says mods will do it. So maybe, but I wouldn't think we'd have anything like that off of the bat. But very cool. I didn't even know that. Hey Raj, good to see you on here again. MK, it's a pretty great jacket there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. It is a little warmer here where I am today, so I may start sweating. Here a little bit. I turned my AC off so it wouldn't be blasting in the microphone, but if it gets too hot, we may have to figure that out. Let's see. HXNDO, not sure how to pronounce that. I apologize. Says, do you believe they would make DLC like Skyrim, extra storylines, building or customization, etc., or leave it to modders and keep it base vanilla game, excluding patch? Oh, absolutely, they'll do DLC. I mean, every game, correct me if I'm wrong, pretty much every game they've put out, every modern game, I'm not sure about Daggerfall, but I think even Morrowind had some official DLC. So they'll do some DLC. But I don't think they're going to lean on modders intentionally more than they have in past games. But I do think they've gone into this development process with their modding community in mind, and also with just the longevity of the project in mind as well. Todd Howard's mentioned that in a few interviews, that with Skyrim behind them and Fallout 4 behind them, and just seeing the amazing tail that those video games have as far as community engagement, I do think that's informed some of their design decisions. And so I think we'll mostly see that in the form of a more officially integrated, kind of from the start, creation marketplace. So we may not see that at launch, but I feel like within 2 to 3 to maybe 5 months, we'll see that pop up and see a lot of these stories start to come out. And who knows? I'm not in the modding community. Maybe some of you guys, HK, or some of you other people can speak to this. But at what point in the development cycle do you all usually get those tools? Is it at launch? Is it a few weeks after launch? Because obviously they have to give you time to develop and to build and to dream up everything you're doing. So if anyone knows that, I would love to see that in the chat. Very cool. Good question. All right. Brian Kelly, Discord can be a great place to connect. Thanks for making it. Hey, thank you guys for jumping on. Thanks again to Samuel or Solomon, excuse me, for making all that happen. Keep it like the base. Yes. That one guy is, let's see, I'm going to really dig into the shipbuilding aspect. Absolutely. I feel like a lot of people are really excited for that. So I will be right there with you. All right, let's see what else we got. You'll be tweaking settings for a while. Yes, probably. Streamlabs Police. Yeah, sorry about that again, guys. I appreciate that. Let's see. Want some Lovecraftian horror DLC? Perry says would be cool. Let's see. Jason Smith says, how big could they possibly go? Let's see. Sorry, let me try that again. How big could they possibly go with DLC? Seems pretty exciting about all of the possibilities. Absolutely. I mean, people have been saying in comments and on forums that maybe our galaxy is only the start of it. Maybe and we've seen, again, Todd Howard mentioned in interviews that once they build these systems, it's essentially as far as like how many planets they can have or how many systems they can have, it's just a matter of putting the number in the program and pressing enter. So now obviously it's not going to be that simple, and we wouldn't want something that simple, right? It wouldn't be as fun. But that makes expanding the world and the galaxy and the universe of Starfield a lot more practical once you kind of take those things into consideration. So I think it could be possible for them to expand out into other galaxies and to kind of slowly build this universe over time. That would be very, very cool. Good question. Grandmaster Cyber Ninja, hello. Good to see you, sir. Glad you're here. Remember, we will also have Battle Pass or whatever it's called. Game Pass. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you mentioning like a season pass, like DLC? I'm not sure how all that would work. Hi Walker said, I played No Man's Sky for over 1,000 hours, so Starfield is right up my alley. Awesome. Yeah, I got No Man's Sky on Game Pass finally, and I've played maybe 20 minutes of it with my 7-year-old. So we haven't even got off the starting planet yet, but eventually I will get back to it and play around with it. So because I know a lot of people say I should play it, so I can kind of be more familiar with some of the similarities and some of the context and compare and contrast. So I'm going to try to take a day at some point and get into that. Let's see. All right. James, Google said they will probably call it a solar pass or something space related, right? Going to bring the British Empire back. Colonize everything, yes. All right, so give me a little feedback. How did everyone, speaking of that, how did everyone like the first lore spec video we did? We released that last week about the United Colonies, and I kind of alluded to, I just kind of asked the question, are the United Colonies similar to, maybe what, like the Empire is in Star Wars, and are they this imperial kind of power that just wants to conquer everything and colonize everything just for the sake of power and for the sake of size, or are we reading too much into that? What did you guys think about that? Your poor SSD, yeah. Love it. Starfield mug, yes. Yeah. Howard's mentioned the coffee mugs several times, so I'm a big coffee mug guy. I have too many coffee mugs and tumblers to fit in my cabinets. I have to find other places for them. let's see. Her band's Garcha said, "Why isn't Starfield showing up in the coming soon section in the Microsoft Store?" Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it has been officially announced now. Steam has it as with its release date. GOG probably has it too. I know that was a part of a leak at some point. So I'm not sure. It should be. It should be at some point. So much lore we can dig into as well. Yes. Do you think the followers will be part of the crew, help out on the ship, or just pack mules like in Fallout? Man, I really hope they're more than just pack mules. I didn't get into Fallout. I think everybody knows that. But Skyrim, yeah, you could use them as pack mules, obviously. You could also use them. I remember, was it Findril? Was like one of the first followers that you could have out of, not out of Whiterun, out of River. Oh man, was it River Run? That doesn't sound right. What's the first little city you come to there with like the watermill and everything? But he would follow you, and you could have him train you in archery, and then you could just say, "Hey, give me that money back." and then you could keep training and really kind of do it for free, because you could take your money from his pack, which was really cool. But yeah, I hope they're a bit more sophisticated, and it sounds like they will be. A few things that Howard's mentioned about your companion relationships, specifically the romantic ones, where there's not just this binary state of like you're in a relationship or you're not in a relationship, but there's a little bit more of a nuanced system there, where you could be in a relationship with you, but you could be in a relationship with them and they could still be mad at you or upset at you for a specific decision you made. But it's not like they're like, no, we were never in a relationship. So hopefully, Riverwood, thank you so much. Oh man, can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, yes, all my homies leveled to 50 archery, absolutely. So yeah, I think the companion system, I mean, it should be the best one we've seen out of all of Bethesda's games so far, especially given we have maybe a more nuanced companion system, relationship system, in conjunction with just more dialogue, right? Hopefully there's going to be a lot more dialogue. I'm kind of thinking this is going to be maybe like Dragon Age, maybe a little bit, just in the sense where you're walking around the city, or you're walking around the jungle or wherever, and they've written in where your companions are going to make a note about, hey, this is a big area, or hey, you should use this weapon for this beast, or whatever. Just little quips, especially maybe about each other. Just have that relational aspect of it, where maybe some of your companions don't like each other. That would be really cool. That was definitely one of my favorite parts about Dragon Age. So maybe it'll have a little bit of that in it. Again, if Streamlabs is yelling at you, please forgive me. Don't think a thing about it. It's just some sort of bot doing something weird. I don't know how to turn it off right now. Keep asking your questions. Is it really like No Man's Sky in space? Isn't nearly infinite large planets are not procedurally generated in the same way? Neither are the creatures. Is it really like No Man's Sky if the space isn't nearly infinite? So I don't know, Waz, exactly what your question is, but it's not going to be exactly like No Man's Sky. It's going to be its own thing, and it's going to have its own systems, and it may, we had an interview about this with Krim, who he kind of designed some really cool graphics that kind of explain some different options that we could see as far as how they handle space and how you're able to navigate through it from one planet to another, or from one system to another. And so there are lots of different ways that they could do it, and almost all of them would honestly be awesome. Just if they make it make sense, and it's kind of a logical way to navigate the world, I think it'll be fine. I don't think I'll be too upset about anything like that. Let's see. We'll come back up here. companions that are pretty interactive would be very exciting. Absolutely. I'm going to be right back, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm coughing more than I thought I was. Oh, I was like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna be fine. I've been feeling good today, and I think just all this talking all of a sudden is kind of making it act up. So I apologize, but thank you guys for sticking out with me. All right, let's see what else we got. Just a few more minutes of AMA doing chat, and then we'll kind of get into some stuff here. So glad everyone's watching. If you haven't already, if you've kind of joined in a little late, let me put this link in the chat again. This is to our Discord. We would love for you to join us over there. Got a great community already, and it's a lot of fun. See, Perry said it would be worth playing Fallout to get a preview of Starfield settlement building. Maybe, yeah. It looks like it might be similar from what I've seen. I just anytime I've tried to pick up Starfield, it's a labor to do it. I just really don't engage with the post-apocalyptic thing. But you're right. Do it to be better, well versed in the Bethesda community and the Bethesda language. So it's a good point. All right. Scott said has updated physics system. It will. It's using the Creation Engine 2, which will be updated in a lot of different ways. We don't know every single way, but it will be updated. So physics, graphics, lighting systems, all of that stuff, it's going to be updated. But we can expect a lot of what we're used to. James said, as long as I can get a mountain goat up the side of mountains, yes, as long as you can mountain goat up the side of mountains, I'll be fine with a whole new physics system. Right, yeah, just making sure people can get up there. Okay. All right, I'm kind of behind a little bit. I'm going to blow through here to see like the Outer Worlds. Okay. Do you think they'll incorporate OpenAI into NPC interactions? Would make interactions much more dynamic. I think they will eventually. Obviously, that's a very new tool that Microsoft has, and to implement something that sophisticated into a closed, single-player experience probably wouldn't be an easy feat, I imagine. But I could see them doing something like that in Elder Scrolls. That might be really cool. Okay. Was just a rhetorical question, Starfield signal. Okay, so something you mentioned earlier that I took the wrong way. Sorry about that. Okay, Cyber Ninja, really hope there will be tons of heavy weapons and mechs. We have seen mechs in some of the gameplay, in one of the Crimson Fleet montages. So we haven't seen them in action, though. They were just hiding, like there was a guy hiding behind one. So it could be. Yes, yeah, I have some cough drops nearby, but I was like, I don't want to be sucking on those while you're here listening to me do that. But the Institute got them. But we'll make it through. All right. Let's see. Will they have uniques or legendary variants? I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that. We haven't seen the only loot or menu system we've really seen was from the most recent announcement trailer that they made, where we see the screen in the background, right? So who knows? Who knows? All right. I'll take a look through these real quick. Okay, Tom said, Starfield Signal, do you think the rings fast travel theory will be deep dived into and explored as a technology in and of itself? It will be eventually on our channel. I have some theories about that. I've kind of previewed that with some of our Patreons and YouTube channel members, and they gave me some good feedback on my theory. So I'm excited to put that together. And that's actually kind of a good segue. So I'm gonna look through. Yeah, thanks for the comments about the jacket. So yes, so a quick update on the channel. We do have our Discord up and running now. Again, thank you so much to Solomon who has built that for us. X Scarface XO is his screen name. Give him a wave or a shout if you're over on Discord. He put a lot of hard work, still putting a lot of hard work into that, and is going to be updating it as we kind of get suggestions. And to that point, you know, as we want people to make suggestions, we want to build this, you know, with and for our community. You know, it's ours, so we get to kind of make it however we want to. I am probably, you know, the one like holding the horse back a little bit, like pulling back the reins, just because I want to keep it really simple to start out with. And as more and more people jump on, of course, we'll have more needs for more of the sophisticated bots and the moderation and everything like that. But for now, I want to keep it really simple, just to keep it from being intimidating to people who are new to it. Because like myself, I was new. I mentioned this earlier. I just want to kind of act like a chat room for now. But as we, you know, that'll probably be a little frustrating to some of you who are really used to Discord and you like all the moderation, you like all the bots and the automation and all the cool things you can do with it. I get that. If you'll be patient with us, we'll get there, I promise. But I want to try to get as many people on board, just feeling comfortable with it as we can, and then we'll move forward together. So I'm excited about Discord. There's some really cool ideas we've had. There's a new feature called Stages, I believe. And Solomon and I were talking, and I think that would be a really neat way to like have, I mean, we could kind of do this like a live stream, and then kind of allow you all to actually chime in vocally, you know, with audio, you know, because right now you can't chime in on the stream. We just don't have that functionality other than chat. But I would love to like open up the audio channels to say like, hey, who wants to talk about this? And then I just think that would be really cool and much more interactive as well. So yeah, very excited about Discord, and have that. I'll put that link again here. Got the Discord link again there. That's the last time I'll throw it in there. But let me know if anybody has any questions about that. And then yeah, so let's talk about Patreon and YouTube channel members. So you can go to my channel, on my YouTube channel. You can just go to the main channel page, and you can click on join, and that's going to bring up some options. So I'm just going to share just a second here. Okay. I'm going to get this ready, and then I'll share it. Okay. Membership. There we go. And then also YouTube. Okay. Come back here. All right. So here's my Patreon. Again, this isn't going to be like an hour-long advertisement. We'll get through this pretty quick. .com/Starfield Signal. There we go. So, screen present. Perfect. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to Hopefully you can see everything I'm seeing right now. I don't have my dual monitor set up, but this is my Patreon page. So all these are the same thing. YouTube channel memberships and Patreon patrons get the same thing except for one feature. Patreon is able to have ad-free viewing because I upload the videos directly to Patreon, and I haven't figured out how to make YouTube channel membership work with no ads yet. So that's one benefit of Patreon. If you prefer to have YouTube, then that's the only benefit at all. But if you have YouTube Premium, then it doesn't matter because you don't have ads there anyway. But let me just walk through these. So the starter position, again, same for both Patreon and YouTube, except YouTube is $1 more because of the ad-free videos. So $1.99 here. It's 99 cents, the starter on YouTube membership. And it comes with just ad-free videos and complete post archive. So, and it gets you like priority commenting. So I'll see your comments first and I'll reply to those. And that works the same on YouTube as well. So that's the main perk on YouTube is if you become a starter member, just 99 cents a month, just 12 bucks a year. Then I see your comments and I engage with you a little bit more. And honestly, I love that. I had the best time like the first 2 weeks of my channel. Whenever we were just a few, we were a couple thousand members or a couple thousand subscribers at that point still. But anyway, the comment section wasn't as full as it is now. But hey, thank you. Let's see. Something happened. Let's see. Chad Wolf became a member. Thank you so much, Chad. I appreciate that. Okay. Let's see. I'll check on those later. If you become a member, I appreciate it. I will acknowledge you once I get through the pitch, or else, man, I'm a rabbit chaser. I go everywhere. Anyway, so that starter position mainly gets you priority commenting. So I see you, and I like to engage with people, and so I still get on there. After every video I upload, I try to stay on. Kind of watch the comment section for a few hours and respond to people because I really do like the back and forth. But so that's a good way to kind of get you to the top of that list. Let's move forward. Basic, and these are grandfathered prices. These actually might change a little bit down the road, but I kind of wanted to start out just really, really low. So for just $1 more than the starter, the basic at $2.99 a month, it's $2.99 on YouTube as well. Gets you early access to new videos, and so that's a nice perk. And then, of course, gets you exclusive updates and member-only community posts as well. And so those are some good perks. Moving forward with grandfather. Please excuse me. All right, just making sure we got mics working. The premium, this has everything else. So it gets you ad-free videos on Patreon, gets you priority commenting on YouTube and Patreon, and then also gets you that early access that we have in basic. But above and beyond that, it actually gets your name in the credits of the video, which I think is really cool. And because I really do take like a community approach to our videos because I love your feedback. That's how I kind of get my ideas and my inspiration for my videos. And as many of you know, I'm kind of new to this YouTube thing, but we're kind of building this thing together. And so I love that the premium members for just $4.99 a month, $5, that you get your name in the videos and kind of put that in stone, if you will, in digital stone. Like, hey, you were here and you helped make this, and you really do. And so that would be really cool. And so that's probably like the best bang for your buck right there. Like if you're going to support, you might as well do that one. Is kind of what I would say for just $5 a month, $60 a year. It's an awesome perk to have. The next one up, this isn't for everyone. So this one is not designed for everyone. It's just kind of designed for people who are really loving the content and who really want to support it and who really love Starfield. This is the producer. And again, this is grandfathered. This will probably go up eventually because I kind of gave away the farm here, I feel like. But we already have several producers from Patreon and YouTube. There are several that we have already. And above and beyond everything else. So what we just talked about, you also get a members-only Discord chat. We've talked about Discord. You get a monthly group video call. We're going to have our first one here in probably next week for our producers, which I'm really excited about. You get a priority featured gameplay. So as the game releases and I'm going to start needing more and more content, I'm going to request that you guys actually send that in to help me out, just kind of build the channel and build the content. And these producers get the priority. So if you know, I get 100 people sending me video clips, then these producers kind of get looked at first. They get priority there. And then above and beyond your name in the credits of the actual YouTube videos we make, you'll get your name in the credits in at least a short film project that we're making. I'm hoping to do several. And this isn't guaranteed because, of course, if anyone who's ever been around movies or short films, a lot can go wrong, a lot can go right too, but you know, like getting one made is like pushing a big boulder up a hill. And so that one's not guaranteed, but it's a huge perk that I'm really excited about. And I'm hoping to actually have like some like announcements and updates about that in the coming weeks or coming months. I'm reaching out to some really exciting people to kind of partner with them and collaborate. And I think you guys are just going to love it. I'm very, very excited for that. So anyway, that's the producer section or producer level of Patreon and YouTube. And let me come over here to YouTube. I'll just show you real quick. So if you're on my channel page, youtube.com/@StarfieldSignal, you can get there. Click on the join. Same thing here, starter, basic, premium, producer. Has all the perks listed out there. Exactly everything I just said. Just click on that join button and then it will get you access. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, so on YouTube, it gets you these cool loyalty badges and this is any of them, but even if you just do the starter for 99 cents, this gets you your name in the comments and live chat. These little emblems, these loyalty badges get put next to your name. So I got a few there, 3, that you know, kind of give you a little status. So I think that's cool. Absolutely. All right, let me get back over here and come back here to main. All right. So let's see. How many of you are still with me? That's the question. All right, 50 of you are still with me. That's awesome. Hey, Spudman just jumped in. So glad. Yes, so Scout, we're doing some short films. So I kind of gave you the details. Let me kind of high level thinking. What this actually does for me. So I probably should have started with this, but what this does for me is your support. It doesn't increase my desire to make great content because I already have that desire. And I mean, your support and your encouragement means a lot to me. You don't need to pay me money to do that. What it does is it kind of increases my capacity to do more and better. And so if like this is my desire and this is my capacity's right here and my desire is like hitting that, right? And so I'm like doing as much as I can right now while I have the time. Eventually, like with my other jobs and with my other responsibilities and the other businesses I own, like my capacity is going to kind of shrink a little bit and my desire is going to have to shrink with that just because I don't have the capacity for it. And so this support, what it does is it raises that level, that capacity for me to kind of step away or to outsource or do some other things with my other responsibilities to where I can increase my capacity for Starfield Signal, and that way my desire and my output and the level of quality that we're producing can just rise with that, because that's a default. It's always going to be there. And so that's kind of how I wanted to explain what the support is going to do. It's going to increase my capacity to do more, to do better, and just to build this community that has already out to a phenomenal start. I mean, it's beyond my wildest dreams. I never would have thought that, you know, barely 2 months into this channel that we are 10,000 plus subscribers, growing strong, and just have an incredible, positive, and excited community out there. So thank you guys so much for being a part of that. It's really amazing. So I'm going to shut up for a second and look back at the chat and look at any other things that came through. So again, Chad, thank you so much for becoming a member. Really appreciate you, man. For all of my other members and producers and premium, thank you so much, Spudman. I know you're out there. I think I saw someone else as well that was a member. I can't remember who it was, but everybody, thank you so much. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing this thing. It's going to be very, very exciting. All right. Hey, thank you, Spudman. Appreciate the compliments there. All right. I'm going to come back up just a second, kind of look through chat, see if I missed anything. All right. Hey, thank you very much. Oh, I can't even see. I can't see who that was. It'll show up here in just a second on my screen. Thank you for whoever became a member. I appreciate that. Let's look here. So Danilo Jonathan said, about the future, are you already planning to live stream the Starfield Direct in June? Yes, I am. Many of you actually may have noticed I already have a live stream up and waiting for the June event. And so if you go to, I'm pretty sure if you go to my Starfield Signal YouTube page and go to live, it has like the buttons across, go to home, videos, shorts, and live. I already have a Starfield Direct June 11th event, Starfield Signal live stream, not live scream. We don't want to scream. Up and running. And yes, we're going to stream that together. And I hope that, it's just going to be a really fun time to like celebrate and geek out together. I'm thinking like kind of back to my college days where just, you and a bunch of buddies just go to the movie theater together. Okay, so this is how old I am. I went to the movie theaters in college with my friends to see the movie 300, and that was awesome. That was awesome. That was a really cool like bonding experience with my buddies, and so I hope it's something like that, something really cool. Yes, yeah, we'll be streaming that for sure. Good question. And then yeah, and I haven't even mentioned the controller as well. Let's see, Tom said, happy to support you. Please keep up the great content. I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you so much. I'm on the phone at the moment, but we'll rewatch this video when I get back home to my PC. Thank you, High Walker. And then, yes, it has. No More Reaper said, this is developed into an amazing community. It really has. Scout said, I've been hoping someone would do a countdown, so it's really cool that you did that. Awesome. Yeah, and I think there are some like legitimate countdowns like that are available. I notice people putting those up every now and then. I don't exactly know how to make something like that, so it's just, I'll make a live stream, and I put it for like, that coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, UTC -4. That may not be the time, and so once we do get the official time on that, I'll probably adjust that stream schedule, and so you may see that adjust slightly. But if you want to, go ahead and go there now, and you can, or if you go to that stream, you can just hit notify me, and YouTube will send you a notification or an email or something once we go live. All right. We're getting through this. Hopefully I haven't coughed into the microphone just yet. Okay. Yes. So the controller. Evidently, I really wanted to like do some research on that today. I've been writing scripts all day. I'm writing the follow-up to the United Colonies video that we put out last week. I'm writing the follow-up to that that focuses on the Freestar Collective. I hope to have that out tomorrow night for our early access patrons and YouTube channel members, and then Wednesday morning for everyone else. There is a possibility I may not get it out that quick. I'm still finishing the script right now, so hopefully I'll get the script finished tonight, and then I'll be able to produce that tomorrow morning and get it out. But that's the plan. So I haven't had a lot of time to like look into that controller, but it looked really cool. I don't think I would actually like to use it. It had a lot going on. It was really busy, but as I've seen several of you say in the chat that it's fake. And so what do you guys know about it? Is it just I think I saw one post that said it was like it's from the Chinese internet. So I don't know what that means, if they have like their own internet or if it's closed, or it's heavily moderated or something. But that definitely seemed fishy to me. Yeah, does anyone have any more info on that controller graphic or that controller fake that we saw pop up? I'm not seeing anything in here, so maybe not. But yeah, I thought, hey, I was just kind of making a basic thumbnail for this. I was like, I'll put that controller on there. That may grab some people's attention. So definitely didn't want it to be clickbait or fake news. Just thought, it's something fun. So yeah, it's a custom controller. And you can make custom skins for your controller. Through websites. I think at one time, even like through the official Xbox website, you could design your own controller. I'm unsure if you could design it like that specifically, or if it was just like your colors, or you could match your duotone, or customize your thumbsticks or something. But yeah, so it wouldn't be too hard to like actually make that, and you could use it if you wanted to. Actually, somebody from the channel reached out to me, Jake. I cannot think of his name. He probably doesn't want me to say his full name anyway. But Jake reached out to me, and he makes these. I wish I had my controller near me, but the Xbox home button, he makes these really cool replacement buttons for that. It's like a I forget what he called it. It's a resin cast, and he made it with the Starfield colors in it, so like the red, orange, and blue, and it looks really good. And so I've been trying to communicate with him. So Jake, if you're watching, or if you see this later, check your email, okay? I'm trying to communicate with you. So yeah, there's a lot of cool people doing stuff. And if anyone, I'll go ahead and say again, if anyone in the community, you guys is doing something cool, or if you know of someone who's doing something cool with that's related to Starfield, send it my way. Let me know. I would love to maybe highlight that in our next community feature video, or do an interview, or highlight whatever you're doing. I just want to celebrate anything that's Starfield. So yeah, excited about that. Okay. So we'll talk about the Microsoft merger coming up here. Let me kind of check my chat. Let's see. All right. Playlist for all. Subscribe. Thank you so much, Playlist. Welcome to the community. We are super glad to have you. All right. Prevailing theory is that a guy makes custom controllers made. Okay. So, MK, that's about all we know then. Yeah, you said, however, Bethesda would be crazy if they didn't make their own. So I am all but like sure that surely Xbox will make some sort of special edition console and controller to go with Starfield. They already have some really neat like special edition controllers that you could say like the it wasn't an official Starfield controller. But it was what was it called? The Galactic controller or something. It came out a few weeks ago. I did like a little short on it. And, there's some really cool stuff out there. I'm not a fan if I'm paying $60 for controllers, but I out together my own Starfield Space inspired controller. Maybe you put together your own. Okay, very cool. Very cool. I had a thought, and then I lost it. I was like going to mention something. Okay, so with this Microsoft and Activision merger going through, which I've started calling it a merger now because like everyone else is, but in my opinion, it's like they're buying Activision. I don't know if they're actually merging it. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know all those technicalities. I'm sure all the words mean something different legally, but so what I think, and it seems like this is going to go through now. I haven't checked the news today because I've been script writing, but if anything has happened that makes me look like an idiot, I'm sorry. I am an idiot. You heard it here first. But from the latest information I had as of Saturday, I think. It was kind of the last time I checked on it. Everything seems to indicate that it's going to move forward, even if there are other road bumps or roadblocks that Microsoft kind of has the momentum at this point that they've kind of broken through. Maybe that's a bad way to put it. They've appeased all of the concerns that the governing bodies have put forth to them. And so it doesn't seem like there's anything, legally speaking, that would keep them from continuing on and completing the merger or the buyout, whatever you want to call it. And so with that in mind, that's not going to, I don't think that's going to directly affect Starfield's release date. Obviously, it's not going to directly affect Starfield's gameplay or the game itself. It's not going to come out on PlayStation at launch. It's the road has been set. What we're going to get is what we're going to get. I get that. I'm not saying that, okay, this changes everything. It's not like that. But, thinking about the technology, the IP, the developers, the mobile applications that this merger gives access to now for Microsoft and Xbox and all of their first-party studios, I just feel like that is going to open up a lot of new avenues for games, big franchises like Starfield, like the Elder Scrolls, like Fallout, even other first-party studios like Halo, Forza. This is going to open up all of that technology and all of that, all of that coding, all of these developer secrets. It's not that they're going to share everything, but now that Microsoft is going to own all of these, that essentially creates a really good place for synergy and for cooperation and for kind of, company loyal. I don't know. I was going to say company loyalty. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, these companies are going to be a lot closer together now as far as helping one another. Maybe an example like this may be a bad example because it's Sony, but I remember whenever Hideo Kojima was making Death Stranding, he reached out to the developers of the Horizon series of like the Forbidden West, those guys. He reached out to them because he was using their Decima engine, and they were able to help him. They were able to share kind of some, hey, here's how to tweak it, here's how to optimize it. And so I think that level of cooperation is going to come to Microsoft now in a lot of different ways. So that's one big benefit, I think. So that should hopefully mean less development time for projects now if we're having this cooperation going on. It also should mean, I'm hoping, more mobile-friendly applications. So I remember whenever the Xbox One came out, companion apps were a big thing with that. They never worked very well at all. But what was a good example of this? Do you remember Microsoft Glass? You remember that application? I feel like we're going to see another resurgence of that type of thinking. We're like, hey, we can make mobile applications now because they're getting King with this deal, right? And they are like one of the biggest mobile developers out there, or publishers. So I feel like that's going to be maybe something that we'll see in the next 5 years. We'll start to see better and more mobile companion apps come out with games like Starfield. Like, for example, I think it would be really cool if Starfield had a companion app where you could essentially blueprint out your ship customization, or you could blueprint out your outpost building. You could kind of do the planning. Maybe it doesn't have all the features, but you could kind of, if you're on a bus, on your commute to work, or you're on a plane going on a trip, or whatever, you're at your desk working in your job. You don't have your Xbox around you, and you want to chill out for a few minutes on your 15-minute break or your lunch, or when you're supposed to be doing something else. You could do that on your phone. And I just think there's a lot of really neat applications that they could do. And obviously, They will monetize that, right, to a certain extent. But I think just the community aspect of that is going to be really, really cool. Okay, so I've been babbling on about this for a few minutes now. Let me kind of back up and take a look at the chat. What do you guys think about that? Am I crazy? Does that not make sense? And is this not going to affect Starfield or Bethesda at all? Are they never going to share their tech, even if they are owned by the same company? What do you guys think? Okay, Jason, let's see. Come back up here. Bethesda would be crazy if they didn't make their own. Man, I need a better, need a better system to like find where I left off in the comments. All right, custom controller, here we go. MK said, nope, that's not where I was. For bad listing, yeah, the Starfield controller was made by customization enthusiasts. Nope, still on the controller. Let's see. Jason Smith said, more opportunity to get games on more platforms and mobile is a huge part of what Microsoft wants. This is huge. Okay, Jason, I'm with you, man. MK said the Fallout 4 companion app wasn't terrible. I imagine we'll see something similar with Starfield. MK, I don't know about that. Could you tell us, and everybody, for me and for everyone else on the stream, what was the deal with the companion app for Fallout 4? What, did they want you to be able to do with that? David, intercorporation cooperation is good, but unfortunately Microsoft leadership has a bad habit of injecting their personal policies into products, largely to their detriment. Okay, that's a fair statement. With Xbox specifically, and Phil Spencer, he has said he likes to have a hands-off approach, and so it's possible that with Xbox that could be different, but sounds like you're making a good point either way. I'm on a Xbox Slim, new console, or PC, or Starfield. Not sure. We may come back to that, Brent. Danilo, Fallout Shelter could be called a companion app. Yeah, I wouldn't call that a companion app, but I definitely see where you're going there. It's its own game, apart from any of the Fallout games. But we could definitely see something like that with Starfield as well, like in the Starfield lore and in the Starfield universe. So yeah, good point. Get deleted Streamlabs. So sorry about the Streamlabs causing trouble. I'm going to look at that after here. Daniel said, it makes sense to me, but doubt it will happen. Video game companies still think the old way. I mean, Sony, but yeah, sure. Bought a 4090 to play Fallout Shelter. I don't know what that is. Is that some sort of like graphics card or processor? I'm not up on the graphics card lingo. Perry said, I want to see Obsidian and Inzile to use Creation Engine. They could do a lot with it. I did think of Obsidian as well. Obviously, they are developing the new Avowed game, and of course, they have their own engine and they have their own development, but I could see moving forward as Bethesda kind of polish up their engine and polish up their processes to share that technology with developers like Obsidian who like to make those kinds of games. That could be huge, and we could start seeing, and they could even help with development at that point, right? I don't even know if Bethesda would want them to, but right, that could mean a new Elder Scrolls game in less than every 15 years or 20 years. Oh, man. Dennis said, if you look at ZeniMax, they put studios together like id helping on Fallout 4. Right. id and Avalanche working on Rage 2. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just a cooperation. And Nomo Reaper said, Microsoft let them do their thing. I definitely see the potential. MK said, Fallout companion app simulated the Pip-Boy interface, that you used in the game, and it lets you review the inventory and requests. It also had some mini games, if memory serves. Okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Streamlabs slapped you on the wrist. So sorry about that. I'm sure that is a setting somewhere that I will turn off. I will change. Cool. All right. Well, hey, good thoughts. The last thing I wanted to talk about two more things I want to talk about. So, influences. The influences of Starfield as far as movies, books, other video games, besides the Elder Scrolls. Obviously, a lot of people say No Man's Sky. But what are some influences you guys see out there? Lots of people, let me know in the chat, what are some influences you all see? Lots of people have told me to watch Contact because, and I think mainly because of like the rings, the mysterious ring structure we see in Starfield. That was a part of the Contact plot. I watched Contact. Like, I remember that movie from back in the 90s. I don't ever remember watching it. And so I went back and I did watch it. I rented it on Amazon, I think. And I had a hard time watching it. It moved really slow. And I don't mind slow moving movies. This is going to become like a critique of that movie. I don't mean it to be. I don't mind slow moving movies if they like kind of really hunker down into the like character development. And I didn't really see that. It was kind of just like, I feel like it didn't have a lot of respect for the intelligence of the viewer to like keep up. And so it moved really slow to like make sure everybody was on the same page. So anyway, I got about maybe an hour into that movie and kind of skipped through maybe the next 30 minutes until you got to like where they're building these rings that they're building in Contact. Kind of for, I guess, spoiler warning, I'm not going to go into detail what happened, but I don't think what happened in Contact is in line with the Starfield vibe and the Starfield lore that I'm seeing so far. But I could be mistaken. What does everyone else think who knows about Contact or has seen Contact? Let me know in the chat if you think, no, I think that's spot on. I think that's what they're going for. A little bit of cyberpunk in there. Okay, interesting. Gotta go now. Harbins, thank you so much for jumping on the stream. Good to see you. HK said, if the Fallout series does well, I could see Starfield TV series being developed. That would be so cool. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has Jonathan Nolan is the showrunner, right? Or he's the writer for it. I'm unsure if he's doing everything. But, I mean, Jonathan Nolan, I love his stuff. Of course, he collaborated with his brother, Christopher Nolan, a lot, who makes some great movies, who made Interstellar. And I believe Jonathan also wrote Interstellar. Is that right? And so Jonathan Nolan could have a lot of influence on the future of Starfield, potentially. Mass Effect trilogy, absolutely, is the best-known space opera RPG except for Star Wars. I agree. Man, yeah, Mass Effect is great. That's a great point. I was trying to think of like my best gaming experiences and just kind of like a holistic experience with a franchise. Like Knights of the Old Republic, absolutely had an incredible experience with those two games. I wish there would be a third. I know they're remaking the first, hopefully still. But then Mass Effect, yeah, that first game, it was so good. And, a lot of people complain about the combat or the Mako, the vehicle. I mean, sure, it wasn't, whatever. Just the game was so good. I enjoyed all of it, even the combat and even the Mako, even though it was frustrating and whatever. It's kind of like Roach in The Witcher 3. It's like, sure, it sucks, but the game as a whole is so good, like you don't really think about it that much other than like little bitty moments. So I feel like, yeah, Mass Effect is great. And I hope that they, what Mass Effect did that was so awesome is they kind of matched the power of space opera lore and, using your imagination to do all these kinds of things with, a very specific character development and these relationships that you have with these people. And it honestly didn't matter if they were, Turian or they were alien or they were Krogan or whatever. They could have all just been human, basic, whatever. But those relationships were really what kind of drew you into these stories. And then, of course, they build out the universe. They build out the storytelling with all of the different races and the different characters and the different worlds and galaxies, whatever that you can go to. So, yeah, I agree. For me, an obvious one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Scout said, more so because of the soundtrack and the camera angles of spaceship design. I've never seen 2001: A Space Odyssey. That was on my list to like go back and watch a few years ago. I finally got to watch The Abyss. That was like a one that I just skipped for whatever reason. So that was really cool. But like 2001 Space Odyssey was like the one I was going to watch after that. And then I got busy or got a job or fell off or something at that point. But yes, I want to go back and look at that. David said, honestly, don't know what they're going for, but if they let the story writers run wild and pack the game with lore, it will be awesome. Yes, I agree. Jason said, the rings definitely reminded me of Contact. Intelligent species sends info to build technology, and we use it to travel beyond. There's still a lot to understand yet till June. Absolutely. Yeah, HK, yeah, Mass Effect story is amazing. I lament the ending to 3. And, you know, everything was good except for like the last 5 minutes. I mean, and I don't think it's a bad ending. I don't dislike 3. 3 was amazing. You really did get to experience kind of the culmination of a lot of those relationships in the companion missions that you had, which were incredible. So I hate it that for a lot of people, the red, blue, and green ending kind of detracted from the work that BioWare did do in a lot of those companion missions, because they were amazing. Specifically, what comes to mind, I remember specifically like agonizing over some of the decisions you made with Morden or you made with Tally, and just like sitting there with the controller in my hands like for minutes, just thinking, oh, what am I gonna do? And you know, a video game did that. They made me had an emotional reaction like that, and I hope that Starfield could. I know they're usually not as big on like the character arcs, and you know, it's more kind of about the big set pieces and the sandbox, and you can do anything you want to do. But with this dialogue system that they have, and the amount of dialogue and the new companion systems they have, I hope that they try to go a little deeper into these relationships and into these characters, because man, that would just be great. I'm with you, HK. Jason said, Streamlabs, please refrain from sending messages. I know. All right. My on-screen panel needs to be refreshed. The chat, or so I actually thought about removing that chat window on my on-screen thing. Let's see. Let me just. All right. Hopefully that did it. Anything that was wrong, hopefully that fixed it. All right. Jonathan M said, hey, I made a stream. Hey, Luke. So good to see you, Jonathan. Sorry you got here a little late, man, but hopefully you can go back later and pick up. But we're just having fun. We're just talking at this point. I got one more thing I want to talk about, mainly just to nerd out on. I'll get to that here in just a couple minutes, but just wanted to catch up on chat. Danilo said, hot take, I like 3 better than 2. Yeah, they had a culminating effect, right? And so I kind of view all of them as one experience. And then, you kind of get down to the gameplay technicalities and the mechanics of each one, but they're all really, really good. Perry said The Expanse is the best sci-fi TV show ever. Outstanding. Okay, so Perry, you may hate me, but I really tried to give The Expanse like a good shot. I watched the first episode, did not like it at all. But I heard so many people like you say, oh no, it's one of the best. You got to stick with it. It gets good around, whatever episode. And so I stuck with it all the way through season 1, I'm pretty sure, and watched maybe half of season 2. And at this point, I think it was a couple years ago now, I didn't have anything else I was watching. It was like in between seasons of whatever I was into. So I was like, I want to give it a try. And it was on Amazon. So I tried to watch like 1.5 seasons, and I just couldn't get into it. I kind of get where it was going, what it was trying to do, but I just didn't find any of the characters to be appealing. So I think that's where, and I feel like it's a very like character-driven show. Like you have to be invested in these characters to care what's going on, because there isn't a lot of spectacle. So I think that's where I I struggled with it. Okay. Matrix, the Office. The Matrix would be really cool if it had some cool stuff like that. MK said humanity expanding into space encounters some weird alien stuff, which is what I think this artifact is in the trailer. Okay, interesting. Scout said, I agree about Bethesda not developing character relationships much, but I'm okay with it because it allows me as the player to just fill in the blanks. True, I do like that about Bethesda games. It kind of gives you, not a blank canvas, but it gives you a canvas with enough room and enough margin to kind of put your own stories in there, which is really cool. Hey, Brent, thanks so much for becoming a YouTube channel member. Really appreciate that, man. I'm very excited to have you on board. Very, very exciting. Thank you. I see. And then Boss Red said, sup, gamers. Hey, man, glad to have you here on the stream. Even Breaking Bad's ending kind of sucks. I thought Breaking Bad landed that show in a good place. I even really liked El Camino, kind of the add-on TV movie they made to kind of put a punctuation on Jesse's story. So yeah, but to each his own. David said, one thing I don't like in game is meaningless equipment. I'm with you. Mass Effect did an awesome job of making each piece of equipment seem meaningful. Yes. What's the one that everyone kind of hates recently? Oh, I think it was in the Avengers. It was like a rib cage or a back brace or something for the Hulk. It was kind of like, huh? The Avengers game did a lot of things wrong, but yes, that is a great point. Like having logical motivation for the mechanics and the gameplay and for the loot, all of that kind of makes for a more believable experience. So I'm with you. Breaking Bad just got way out there in the last couple of seasons for me. It was an emotional roller coaster for sure. It was good. I binged it pretty hard, so it didn't, it wasn't as drawn out of a thing for me. Okay, so hey, last thing I just wanted to nerd out on real quick. Who got to see the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom little preview snippet that came out, I think, like late last week, Wednesday of last week or something, where they were doing like the highlight of the fuse mechanics, and there was something else in there too. But who got to see that? I thought that was fascinating. I played Breath of the Wild and really enjoyed it. And Lolo, thank you for pledging on Patreon. I could not see who that was on my screen. Thank you so much. Let's see if it'll come up here in the chat. I'll thank you once it tells me who you are. I heard you come through. Yes, Tears is going to be amazing fun. Absolutely. So I played Breath of the Wild, I guess, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago at this point. And I did everything you could do in that game. I stalled out a little bit when it came to some of the harder challenges, but I kind of powered through. And I usually don't do that with hard games. Like once a game gets really hard, I'm like, okay, I get it. I get what it's about. Fine. I don't have to do everything. But man, there's something about that game that just kind of called me. And I absolutely loved everything about that game. So I'm really excited for Tears of the Kingdom. I'm glad we have a little bit of a buffer in between Tears coming out and then, of course, Starfield coming out in June. I doubt that I'll get through everything in Tears of the Kingdom in that time frame, but it's nice to have a little bit of a buffer. Let's see. Nintendo took the player's manipulation of the items and made it a feature of the new game. Outstanding dev response to organic player activity. Yes. And what they were doing with the fusing mechanics, I thought that was so cool. Just that you could essentially make rafts or planes or really anything you could probably imagine, that they've kind of built those systems together. And then when they started doing the fuse mechanics with the weapons, I was just like, wow, because that's a pretty deep system. that's a really deep system when you think about it. And then, you know, how that affects the durability of all your items. And then, you know, when they added the eyeball to the bow and arrow to make it like a homing arrow, I thought that is so cool. That is so cool. Sorry. And so I'm really excited for that now. And, you know, I'm not that creative of a person when it comes to gameplay and sandbox and messing around, but I'm really excited to see like the YouTube compilation videos of, you know, most creative fused weapons in that game, because it's going to be wild. I highly suggest you check that out. Omicron, and you did not miss the controller reveal. It was unfortunately a fake. We saw somebody kind of put that in our Discord earlier today, and I meant to do some research on it, and I got here on the stream and people were like, no, it's fake. It's, you know, just or, you know, I guess fake isn't maybe technically right. It is a fan-made controller. And so I know there are some options out there for you to make your own skins or to design your own controller. And so if you wanted to, you could probably make that controller. But as far as an official Xbox or an official Starfield controller, it is not that, sadly. But yeah. You could make it if you really wanted to. If you were dedicated and committed, you could do it. Well, hey guys, that is all of the things that I had to talk about today. There's still about 50 of us, 60 of us here on the stream, and so I'll kind of hang out in the chat here for a little bit. But I am going to end the video stream, but we'll leave the chat open, and I'm going to get me some water and some cough drops, and then I'll hang out in the chat with all of you for a bit. One more thank you to all of our new Patreon and YouTube channel members. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I'm really excited to build this channel with you guys and to keep building this community. Again, if you, I'll put the Discord link in the chat one more time. If you have not joined our Discord yet, we invite you to come over there. But you guys have an incredible week. Thank you for joining the stream. Enjoy the video coming out hopefully this Wednesday, Tuesday for all of you early release members. And thanks for joining the stream. For now, may you find wonder as you journey through the stars. I'll see you guys later. Thanks.